What's up?
Peace.
Hey, everybody, welcome back to How Sean Sees It podcast. Today, my guest is Jay the Goat. Even though her screen name looks like an I right now, I don't know what type of font she using. I almost said I the Goat, but it's Coach Jay the Goat, my buddy Janae. How are you?
I'm great. How are you? How are you?
I'm good considering it's 10
Hey,
o'clock in the
everybody.
morning.
Well, we're here.
We are here, and that's something to be grateful for.
Absolutely. Period.
So, today's episode, we're going to talk about life after divorce. It's a topic that a lot of people don't talk about, but a lot of people need to hear. So, both of us used to be married, so therefore, both of us are divorced. And I just want to get some dialogue between a man's view and a woman's view on the subject. So, Janae, if you can go ahead and introduce yourself and tell the people a little bit about you.
Okay. Well, as he said, I'm Jay the Goat, Coach Jay the Goat. The Goat stands for not the typical greatest of all times, but goddess of all trades. Just from wearing the mom hat, the wife hat, the business hat, entrepreneur hat, home hat, all of that or whatever, and still managing to keep it all balanced and in a holistic approach or whatnot. I'm a holistic health coach. Uh, as he or we're discussing, I've been divorced twice. Or about to. I'm currently going through a divorce, my second divorce, and I've been divorced once already. So I have a little experience definitely in that space of life. And I'm currently in yoga training to be a yoga instructor in a couple months this year. So that's what I got going on. That's me.
Well, congratulations on the yoga instructor training. I
Thank
know you're going to
you.
do good at that.
Yeah, I'm
I didn't
excited for
know
it.
this was the second time.
Yeah, this is my side. I've been divorced before. Like, so I've had a total of almost 8 years, 8 years of almost 8 years of marriage experience. My first marriage was 4 years. I don't count the first one. Let me be clear. I don't. And it's the reason why I don't that we'll get to. But I don't count my first one for a couple of reasons or whatever. But that one lasts 4 years. And it only lasts that long because of some upbringing ways that, I thought or that was taught to me and all of that or whatever.
Right.
So, yeah.
Well, then, in honor transparency, I've had two divorces as well. But just like you, I don't count the first one. A lot of people don't even know about the
see,
first one.
see, as you just discovered, and so have I. So, there we go. We
Yeah, a
have
lot of people don't even know about my
confirmed
first
that.
marriage.
The only people that know about it are those who are around that marriage. But if they weren't around in that season or whatever, it'd be like, who? You what? It was
And
an
it's not their
ex
job to know.
husband. Exactly. It's not. The conversation needs to be for what?
Nothing is
Absolutely.
irrelevant at this point.
Absolutely. I totally agree. So yeah.
So, being divorced, how do you believe that affects your current dating life?
Hmm. Okay. So the way I found myself explaining it in the last couple of weeks is like, so you get used to things being a certain way, and then like out of nowhere, it completely turns upside down. Like in every way, in every capacity of it turning upside down. You For men, they don't have to change that much. In my opinion, like some common things change on both grounds, but then there are other things that change that men don't have to experience that us women do. So it's like a completely the whole dating pool is completely different, of course, than almost 8 years ago. I've been married like almost back to back. So
Extremely
most of
different.
my adulthood, I've been a wife. And
And
both times I've had to change like everything because I believe in doing things in decency and in order. So before I, move one way. Everything else need to be taken care of prior. So getting the whole name change down to social, like everything. The whole ID, places that you already, have that last, like it's always this reoccurring. Even now, like I'm changing everything. Everything is like completely like just gone, just
And that's
because of
something
what
I
the
think a lot of
dynamic have
people don't
changed.
realize about divorce, that a woman has to go through all of that after the fact of the divorce. She has to go through changing all those credentials and everything that most men don't even
Inside
think
and
about.
out, inside and out. And I'm like, I can't speak for a man. But I don't feel like we most men don't change their last name. We know that for certain. That's like hands down in agreement.
Yeah, it's
So
like 2% that would change their name.
if that, so we know hands down that men not having to do that, or just starting over, like the whole starting over base. It blows my mind that my current ex is like already got. It's like almost this whole breaking down like it was planned. Bless you.
Excuse me.
Like it was planned. It feels almost planned. I almost have asked myself, like, hey, does punk still exist? Like, is this a joke? Somebody about to pop out and be like, nah, this
So
is
he's already moved
pretend.
on?
Oh, I don't know as far as relationship, but like he's already like he packed his things and already had a place situated and everything, like the whole nine. Gone, bam, boom. Less than a
Hmm.
week later, any conversation. Like it was almost like just sudden. Like, hey, I want. What do you say? I want to be separated until further notice. So that's what provoked me this divorce. Like, no, this is not how we do marriage. Like when that starts
Yeah,
being a
we don't
thing
take
to,
breaks in marriage.
separate until further notice without no communication of, hey, I'm going to be here. We're still good. I'm working on me like you're working on me. I just need this, or like nothing, nothing in that capacity at all. Just, I need space until further notice. If we don't work this out, we don't divorce, whatever, and yada, yada, yada. And I'm like, oh, that is not marriage. That is not love. That is not okay. I
No,
will
we don't
not.
take breaks in marriage.
Yeah, we don't. That don't happen. Not in mine anyway.
Yeah, no, not in mine
Other
either.
people marriages, they might be okay with breaks and such like that, but not in mine at all. I wasn't. That's not okay. So that's why I'm currently in my second divorce because
Right. Once we say I do, we here. We
that's
gonna be
it.
here.
That's it. Not once have I ever. No, I'm not leaving. That
And
won't be on my
that's how
mark.
it should be, because once you get married, that's you and the other person saying you're committed to each other through better
Hmm.
and for worse. And that's something I realized that a lot of people don't honor. It's the for better or for worse, the for richer or for poor. Now I can understand if you get married and your mate completely changes, like
Hmm.
they lose all sort of motivation, they don't want to get a job, they want to stay at home and do nothing. They don't care about furthering
Right.
themselves, anything. Now, that's
Right.
not the richer for poor. The richer for poor means
Right.
we're going through
With
this
effort, with
together. Like we're
consistency,
going through some
with
down
intention.
times.
Yeah.
But if you're just lose all motivation and change into a whole nother person, that falls more into the for better or for worse. And we're going to go get some counseling so we can figure out
Right.
why
Right.
you did a complete 180 turn after we said the words I do.
See, people don't exhaust everything anymore, in my opinion. Like everything is just, hey, it's hard, it's difficult, this is challenging, so let's just break up. Let's just call it quits. Let's just
They
run
scream
away.
fire at the first time
Yeah.
of flames.
Yeah. But we're supposed to be so loyal, so till death do us part. So you're my, I'm in this till the wheels fall off. All of that. Yet when things get difficult, a lot of people tend to just cringe up and be like, "Oh, hold on, I wasn't expecting. Nope, that's out of what I expected. So therefore, I gotta call it quits or
Right.
walk away from it or whatever. Because a lot of things don't even be divorce qualifying. It'd
They really don't.
be like, really over that?
Okay, so how do you believe that being divorced affects how you view men or what you expect while you're dating?
Hmm. That's a loaded question there, sir.
Fully loaded.
Okay, so how have being married affected how I look at men while
Right?
dating?
Like, do you have more red flags that you see earlier? Do you
A
prejudge men? Are
whole,
you
I
kind of
don't see,
standoffish?
I don't feel like I prejudge them. I still feel like every individual is worth giving their fair chance of who they are, what they about, how
Mhm.
they, do things and conduct themselves and so forth. So fully aware of like giving everyone their fair chance. But yes, I'm also 1,000 more times aware of just being aware of the red flags and aware of, those green flags too. Aware of, what how a person really is and who they're really showing me they are, like versus anything else. Because downfall in my how I move in life, I see potential. And
Right.
that's the biggest reason why I got married my last time was over potential. Nothing else, nothing more. Like I saw potential, I saw effort, and I didn't allow it to be effort consistently enough before saying, okay, hey, let's take it to that next level. I took it to that next level in the midst of it becoming something consistent without making sure it was first a reality. I saw potential, so that's a down pit in my area, or in my space of how I used to do things. Not anymore, of course, because
Right.
now potential not gonna cut it. Potential is not gonna be enough. Potential is not gonna be like, oh, okay. No, it has to be more. So I definitely look at everything with a clear lens now when it comes to the opposite sex for sure.
So
And
it's made you more aware of what you did wrong or what you
oh
should be
yeah,
looking for.
oh yeah, definitely. I learned plenty about myself, and that was the craziest thing because in doing that was the way I lost this last one. Like simply just doing more inner work on myself. As weird as that sounds, just doing more work within myself. Like, hey, I need to reflect. I need to go within. Like, and doing that sometimes can intimidate people.
Right.
It can.
Now, do you feel that when you're dating a man and you tell him that you're divorced, do you feel that that puts a bad taste in his mouth about you and causes him to look at you differently?
Honestly, it could be. I don't care though. I mean, it is what it is.
Because I can
It
say, as
could
a
be
man's
like,
point of view, if I tell a woman that I was divorced when I was going on dates, the woman would say, "Okay, so what did you do?" It would
absolutely, absolutely.
automatically be my
Yeah,
fault.
no, yeah. I feel like that's both ways for sure. Because that thought have came up. Like, all right, I'm pretty sure another person, like the other person, probably think like, okay, twice, like not once but twice.
Yeah, like it must be something wrong with you.
All right. Like, why can't you keep a marriage or whatever? Yeah. So
Yeah, so I
agree.
immediately felt judged whenever I told somebody that I was divorced. And then I came to the viewpoint like, okay, it's my truth. I got to own it and roll with it. I am divorced. So
Right.
you can either
Either
take
take
that
it
or
or
leave
leave
it.
it. That's it. Take it or leave it. This is what it is. At least it's not nothing hidden, or you're discovering it later, or there aren't any surprises. Hey, it is
Right.
what it
And
is.
so my next question, I never talk bad about my ex wife. No matter what we've been through, I'm not going to put her out there in a bad light. What happened to our situation? It was a mutual. We both could have done better. That we both could have done things differently. There was a mutual breakdown. But I can say honestly that communication was the deep root of our divorce. Like
Hmm.
better communication, we probably still could have been married. We probably still could have figured something out and
Hmm.
saved what we had, but we didn't communicate properly. And
Hmm.
outside of anything else that happened, that is the seed that grew into a whole tree of chaos.
Right.
So, what would you say is the deepest root without saying any details or anything that specifically happened?
Definitely, definitely communication.
Communication.
Definitely communication. The root. the core of it all definitely is communication.
That's why they say communication is the key because it really is.
Mm-hmm.
And I say communication is the seed because what you plant is what you grow. And
Absolutely.
you can grow good fruit or you can grow bad fruit. It all
Yep.
depends on how you water that seed, how you nurture that seed, what you put into
With your
that seed before
intentions,
you
right?
plant it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so final question that just completely slipped my mind.
Uh-oh.
I know, right? I hate when that happens.
I bet you do. What is it?
Like it was right on the tip of my tongue when I was talking about communication, but now I'm like, where did it go?
Oh, uh-oh. What was it?
I'll think of it and put it in the comment section. All right, so give where everybody can find you. I know you got your podcast coming up. Are we going to get a link to that? Are we going to be able to hear it?
I will get the link to that and have it sent to you today. I need to figure out why it isn't showing up when we last tried it. So I'm
Yeah,
going to get the
we
link
can do
to
some triage and figure that out.
that. Yeah, we're going to have to do that. But I can be found on Instagram at Coach J the Goat. That's a J as in Johnny, not the I that you see on the screen. I'm like, does it look like it? I couldn't even tell. I
It
thought I
really,
pressed a J.
mine is a J. You see mine? That's a
I
J.
do see yours. And also Jay the Goat on Facebook. So that's where I'm at.
All right, Janae, I thank you for being a part of my podcast
Thank
and for giving
you.
some insight on the woman's side of you of life after a divorce.
Thank you for opening this space for me to do so. So this was
I'm
dope.
definitely
I
going to have
liked
to
it.
bring you back for another episode. I plan on doing some panel discussions later.
I'm down.
Thank you. Well, I know you got to go to work, so I'm going to let you go. Go save some lives.
Ah, you are so funny. Well,
See you.
thank you. Peace and light.
Thank you. All right, everybody, that concludes this episode of How Sean Sees It. I want to thank you all for listening and tune in next time. We have another special guest. I'm getting better at these things. As you could tell, I was a little nervous in the first episode. I'm a little more relaxed and limbered now, but I have so much planned for you guys. And I thank you for all the support that you continue to give me and all the future supporters that I will have. I hope that I make you proud. I hope that I get you on here as a guest. I would love to talk to you. I'm talking to all Black creatives, whether you have a business, whether you have an idea, whether you just have a strong feeling or strong story that you need to tell. I would love to hear it. I would love to get you on the show. So you can find me on all social media at Sean J. Ransom, and I would love to chat with you. Until then, peace out.